Hello again. We're on our way into Detroit. We're descending to 6,000 feet, where we'll make a turn to the right and then another turn to the right to intercept the localizer for runway 3 right at Detroit. They are landing north, and since we're coming in from the east, we're going to land on the east side of the airport and then taxi to the gate from there. We're parking at gate B3, which is on the B concourse, and so we'll be taxiing from the airport to the B concourse to gate B3. We should be picking up the signal for the ILS shortly, and then I do have it on the gauges, we are descending down through 6,000 now. Making a turn to the west, and we'll make another short turn after this to intercept the glide slope and the localizer. And descending to 5,000 feet, then in increments 5,000, 4,000, and then down to our final altitude, approach altitude of 3,000 feet as we approach Detroit. Reducing our airspeed again to 210 knots. Our landing speed, minimum landing speed right now is showing at 119 knots. That could change based on winds. I don't anticipate much of a change. Oh, there is a change. The winds are gusting a little bit, this time at 16 knots. The altimeter is changed to 37. And we're showing winds at 120 degrees, gusting to 26 knots. So you can see the airport in the left and the right hand screen a ways away. And we should be turning inbound to that shortly. Putting the landing gear down. And we're still descending under the glide slope, which will remain under the glide slope for a while. As you can see with these needles here in the center of the top three, you can see the one vertical needle is getting lined up with the direction of the runway, and the horizontal one is above the glide, is above the middle line, which means we're below the glide slope. When that comes down to the center of the middle line, then the autopilot takes over and descends us into the airport. Although I have also already set the altitude prior to intercepting that glide slope at 3,000 feet. We'll be under it until we're about 8 miles out, 10 miles out, at which time we'll intercept the glide slope and go in from there. Landing lights are on, the gear's down, so we should be pretty well set to go, except to slow down now for the final arrival. Currently at 210 knots, I'll be reducing that to 180 and then on down to 150 before we land. Landing speed is now going to be showing a little higher. Gusting to 60. Now it's showing our minimum landing speed at 126 knots. And we're at 3,000 feet now, ready to intercept the glide slope. You'll notice the airplane is starting to shift position a little bit, taking into account the winds that are coming out of the 120 degree, almost a tailwind at this point. It's showing now winds at 59 at 17. That's going to switch to a tailwind before we get on the ground. So we'll make some real quick corrections once we hit that. Reducing to 180 knots. And we're above the glide slope now. We should be going down into the glide slope shortly. Well, if not, we're going to have to fix it. So we do. For some reason it didn't capture the glide slope, so I'm having to do this manually. We're at 158 knots right now trying to capture this glide slope. We're coming up to it now, it looks like. So now we should be on. You can see I've got 3 white lights and 1 red. Maybe, I don't know if you can see them or not. Now we're on the glide slope. So we'll try to maintain this glide slope attitude at 1,000 feet. Trying to get a line back with the center of the runway. We appear to still be on the glide slope. And everything looks pretty good right now. We're a little bit high. We're a little under it. And our speed has got way slow, so I'm bringing the speed back up again. just about back on the glide slope, 400 feet above the ground. Back on the glide slope. You'll notice the wind's blowing us off a little bit to the left. Right now, a little bit more than a little bit to the left. That wasn't too bad. We're a little bit crooked, but we got it straightened out after we hit the ground. Wind's still blowing. It's kind of goofy here. And we'll turn off here. Determine exactly where we're at to see which taxiways we'll be taking to get us to the ramp. And see, it would probably be easier to take the map here. I anticipated rolling a little further than I did, so since we didn't roll quite as far as I thought, we'll take W to Juliet to, it looks like, Quebec. Okay. As you can see from the map, which I made a little bit smaller. We're currently on taxiway W, or Whiskey. We'll be turning on to Juliet, J, and then to Quebec, which will then align us with the gates that we're going to be landing at, the gates that we're going to be stopping at. My original plan, I didn't think I was going to stop this short or get stopped and off the runway as quick as I did, so I had planned a different route. So I had to reroute the taxi. We're going to be turning here on to Juliet, which is right in front of us. And you should be able to see off to our right, which I'll show it to you here once I get set here. This parking garage, this is the main parking garage for Detroit Metro Airport, and it sits on the east side of the airport. The main terminal is just behind that. And we're on the Juliet taxiway. This terminal to our right front is the south terminal, A terminal on the south A terminal at Detroit. And we're going to the B terminal, which is beyond that, just around this corner a little bit. You'll be able to see the B terminal. Will be parking relatively about midway down the terminal. Gate B3, which is about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th gate in on the left as we approach the B terminal. And we'll be turning right on the next taxiway, which is Quebec, or Q, and that will take us down to the B terminal, the east side of the B terminal, for our parking spot. The B terminal is here on our left side. Like I say, it'll be the 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th gate on the left side where we'll be parking. Taking the airport map off of the overlay now. And we'll just count gates till we get to 7. You can see on the right side Concourse A, which we have parked at before. This time we're parking in a Concourse B gate because of this being a one of the feeder airlines, Delta Connection Airlines. So on the right side of this right screen, we should be able to count the gates. When we get down to the 7th gate, we will turn. Okay. And we went under a cloud, so it's a little bit dark. And we turn on the parking brakes. We're at the gate, and we'll be stopping the video now to do some other, to compile my flight data, and we'll get this completed into a movie.